You receive a really important message on Signal, you read it, and because you've turned on disappearing messages, it vanishes. And just to be extra sure that that message is gone, you even go so far as to delete the app entirely. Surely that message is now deleted forever, right? Apparently not. A recent court case has exposed a dirty little trick that law enforcement are using to recover deleted messages from iPhones. And this works with all messaging apps, not just Signal. This ability has kind of been an open secret in digital forensics for years, but there was no real confirmation that law enforcement was actively using it until now. Herein lies the problem. Every notification you receive is stored on your iPhone in this folder. This works on the OS level, so it doesn't matter if it's some whimsical purchase suggestion from Amazon or an end-to-end encrypted message meant for your eyes only. If it shows up here, it gets stored here. Every app has its own folder, which stores everything from the heading to the content, and there's even an attachments folder that stores those little preview images. Now, iOS does need to store notifications somewhere, but there's been a ton of controversy over how this database can be exploited to recover messages that you thought were long gone. Last year, there was an incident at an ICE detention centre. A police officer was shot and several people were subsequently found guilty of various crimes. During the arrests, a defendant's phone was seized. It was probably hooked up to something like this in order to perform a full file system extraction. This essentially makes a copy of the device so that it can later be forensically analysed. The subject of digital forensics is a bit mysterious. The companies that sell this stuff to law enforcement definitely don't publicly advertise their capabilities, so we only know what we know about them thanks to leaks, or in this case, from people sitting in the courtroom listening to how evidence was obtained. Messages were recovered through Apple's internal notification storage, and this comes after Signal had been deleted from the target device. The notifications were still preserved in the internal memory, though of course this only affects incoming messages, not the messages that were sent by the target phone. Journalists at 404 Media spoke to supporters of the defendants, and they said that the target phone was using disappearing messages and that the messages that the feds recovered had already disappeared. This is slightly confusing because by the time a message disappears in Signal, its notification is already long gone from Notification Center. So the fact that it was still recoverable implies that dismissed notifications still linger in this database for some period of time. No one seems to know how long notifications hang around for and under what circumstances these files are cleared, which isn't helped by the fact that Apple has no documentation on this, and unsurprisingly the fruity giant didn't respond to a request for comment. Now there's inevitably going to be comments down below saying that none of this is news, and they're half right. The fact that notifications can be recovered at all has been an open secret for years. The earliest documentation I found comes from 2019, when a researcher explained how it's possible to recover this kind of data, and since then various open source tools have popped up that make it easy to pass this stuff. And if you dig real deep, you'll even find release notes from digital forensics companies, the same ones that sell gear to law enforcement, adding support for grabbing this stuff. But until now, there's been no real reporting on it, in part because forensics companies don't advertise their capabilities, and also because law enforcement agencies are never too keen on explaining how they obtain their data. Probably because Apple has a bit of a habit of patching things that get them bad press. For example, a couple of years back, it was revealed that governments don't actually need to extract notification data from physical phones. Instead, they can actually request push notification data from Apple themselves. But in that case, it was mostly metadata, since push notification content is usually end-to-end encrypted. But metadata is still valuable, and the fact that Apple was just handing it over and conveniently forgetting to include it in their transparency reports got a lot of bad press. So Apple responded by making it more difficult for the feds to grab this kind of data, though not by a huge margin. Clearing this database manually is totally impossible. However, there is a super easy thing you can do to make this problem go away, but believe me, you're not going to like it. In Signal settings, you can change notifications to show no name or content. Now, this absolutely sucks, because now all your notifications are going to look like this, which is way too much for me. Personally, I'll just take my chances. Journalists at 404 Media reached out to Signal for a comment on this, but for whatever reason, they didn't have anything to say, despite this problem not really being their fault. If there's any update on all this, I'll make sure to leave a pinned comment down below, but as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.